Okay, so for my GapMinder project, I decided to look at people murdered in by different age categories per 100,000 people, that versus income per person. So I already have income per person on the y-axis. So for the x-axis, I have to go to advanced users, injury deaths by gender, and then I have different age ranges of people who were murdered. So I think I'm just going to pick murder from 15 to 29-year-olds. And so if I start this over, I played it through and I noticed that a lot of like the income's going up and murder um, increases in some countries. But if you caught what I saw around the 1980s, one of the dots jumps. I don't know if you saw that, but if you see this little yellow circle Guatemala, in 1980 it jumps a lot. And so I was really intrigued to know why um, there were so many people murdered in Guatemala. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just the age range. So I decided to change the age range. But if I still go back, this one is Guatemala. If it still goes to 1980, if you saw, it still jumps a lot. You see the little yellow circle? It goes boop. And that is what I found for pretty much all of the age ranges. So I realized that it didn't matter how old the people were. Guatemala just had a huge jump in the 1980s. So I thought this was really cool. Well, and sad at the same time, but I wanted to find out why a lot of people were murdered in Guatemala at that time because I didn't think that there were any wars in Guatemala at that point, but also I'm not really a huge history person, so I wouldn't know. So I decided to research on why the trend for people murdered in Guatemala increased a lot during the 1980s.